we have to calculate. So we got the magnitude. Now we have to get the direction of it. In electromagnetic wave, direction of electromagnetic wave, E unit vector along E cross unit vector along B is it unit vector along. And what we got here, I by A. What is I by A? I by A is current density. Current density. On your right hand side, epsilon in D by T, and that is equal to current by area, current density. So automatically unit will be coming to be ampere meters square. Due to the inertial transition, inertial means having more and more energy. Inertial electrons moving from higher energy level to the lower energy level. So we can find D matching with 3. Electromagnetic waves. Electromagnetic wave is moving in free space, and this electric field is given by E. Electric field amplitude is 50. So we can go to the explanation quickly. What is electric field amplitude? Electric field amplitude is given to be 54 from the equation. Okay. Wave is propagating along what direction? Z direction. Electric field is along Y direction. Electric field, because electric field equation is J, electric field is along Y direction, wave is propagating along Z direction, electric field amplitude is so. First we calculate magnetic field amplitude by the formula E0 by C, that comes to be 1.8 into 10 to the power of minus 6. Now we have to calculate, so we got the magnitude. Now we have to get the direction of it. In electromagnetic wave, direction of electromagnetic wave, E unit vector along E cross unit vector along B is it unit vector along. Unit vector along E is coming to be J cross. We want to find the unit vector along B is equal to unit vector along wave propagation, that is the direction, that is K. And you know J cross, which will give you K. You know I cross J is K. Therefore, J cross minus I will be the K. J cross minus I will be the K. Therefore, magnetic field will be along negative x-axis. Magnitude is 1.08 10 to the power of minus 7. Then magnetic field variation will be minus 1.8 into 10 to the power of sine. Still wave is going along what direction? X minus what omega t, direction is along negative x-axis. So answer is coming to be what? Answer is coming to be second one. Second one is the answer coming. Okay. Which of the next question? We'll go to the next question. Which of the following is not a measurable quantity? Displacement current is, in the case of capacitor charging, displacement current, we have the formula to calculate it, epsilon 0 into d phi by dt. So we have the formula to calculate it. We have the method to measure it. Also, it is equal to the conduction current. So if you measure the conduction current, you are in effect measuring displacement current, you can measure it. And voltage or potential. You know, we can talk about the potential of a point with respect to a reference point. A voltmeter measures potential difference. Potential difference, voltmeter measures potential, not directly the potential. And if you measure the potential difference and you know the potential of one of the point, we can measure the potential of other point. But we are not directly measuring the potential of a point. We are measuring only the potential difference. So in that point of view, logically saying, we are not measuring the voltage, we are not measuring the potential. Resistance, we have so many devices to measure, Wheatstone bridge, Carey-Foster bridge, so many bridges are there. All bridges will measure what? The resistance. Voltage difference, potentiometer, yes, we have instrument, direct voltage measuring devices are there, hotwire voltmeters are there, so we have the instrument. So logically speaking, the one we cannot directly measure is potential or voltage. So our question's answer is what? 3. Okay. We go explanation I already given. Now come to the next question. Electric field of electromagnetic wave traveling through a medium. This wave is traveling through a medium. Yes, traveling through a medium. Yes. Then this is given to you. Refractive index of the medium is. Look, first, just like any wave equation, from wave equation, speed of the wave in that medium, is given by coefficient of t, that is omega, divided by coefficient of k. That is speed of the wave in the electromagnetic medium. Speed of wave, not in electromagnetic wave, even a mechanical wave. In the wave equation, speed is given by coefficient of t by coefficient of x, omega by k. In our problem, omega is given to be 2.5 10 to the power of 15. That's the coefficient of t. Coefficient of x is 10 to the power of 7. Then omega by will be coefficient of t divided by coefficient of x, that coming to be. That is the velocity in medium. We call it by 2.0 into 10 to the power of 8. Velocity in air, we usually say c, that is 3.0 into 10 to the power of 8. Then refractive index is given by velocity in medium divided by velocity in air. Refractive index is given by velocity in air by velocity in medium. That is coming to be 3 into 10 to the power of 8 by 2 into 10 to the power of 8. That is coming to be 1.5. Your answer is 1.5. Answer is 4 in the question. Now go to the next question. Come on. Look here in column 1, electromagnetic waves are given. Then column number 2, the method of generating is. First one is radio wave, A. Radio waves are produced due to the rapid acceleration of electron, A matching with 4. You studied due to the acceleration of electrons, basically within a conductor, not necessarily rapid acceleration of electrons will produce radio waves. So A is matching with 4. Come on. Yes. Now microwaves are produced by, when you studied in theory, what is that? Magnetron, gun diode, etc. Klystron, not keltron, klystron, magnetron, and gun diodes. These are the devices for measuring what microwaves. So microwaves are measured by magnetron or klystron or gun diode, one matching with one. Infrared radiations. Infrared radiation due to the vibrations of the atoms or molecules. So infrared wave, that is C matching with 2. And X-ray, that is X-rays when electrons are knocked out from in the atomic configuration of a heavy target, that vacancy is created, is occupied by electrons jumping from higher levels. So transition of electron. So due to the inertial transition, inertial means having more energy. Inertial electrons moving from higher energy level to the lower energy level. So we can find D matching with 3. Very direct question, direct pick from NCERT book, theory book. A matching with 4, B matching with 1, C matching with 2, D matching with 3. Clearly answer is what? 1. Answer is 1. So explanation also given. Okay, come on. Next one, ratio of speeds of electromagnetic waves and in a medium having dielectric constant K is equal to 3 and permeability is equal to 2 mu 0. Okay, we can go to the explanation. Simple. Velocity in free space is root of mu 0 by. Then velocity in medium, 1 by, we can say this formula comes like this. 1 by root of mu into epsilon. Instead of mu, you can write what? Mu is given to be 2 mu 0, given that. And this epsilon. Epsilon is equal to K into epsilon 0. K is coming to be what? 3. K is coming to be 3. Therefore, 1 by root of 2 mu 0 into 3 epsilon 0, that is 1 by, this is coming to be 1 by, this is coming to be 1 by root of 6 into mu 0 epsilon 0, that is 1 by root 6 into 1 by roots of mu 0 epsilon 0. This is C, that is C by root 6. Therefore, ratio of the speeds in vacuum to the medium. Vacuum it is C, this is C by root 6, then ratio is coming to be root 6. Root 6 is to 1. Root 6 is to 1. So direct question, come on. Now coming to the next question. Equation of electric field is given by root 377 sine 6.27 10 to the power of 3, 2.09 10 to the power of minus 6. Average power of electromagnetic wave is given by 1 by alpha. We have to find the value of alpha. It is given that root of mu 0 by epsilon 0 is 377. Now tell me, let us go to the explanation. You have to look one thing here. What is that? They've used the word average power, but you see the unit in watts per meter square. Even though they have asked the word intensity, but unit says that we have to calculate. Instead they have asked about the word power, but unit coming to be watts per meter squared. So we need intensity, not power. Even though they asked about the word intensity, power, we want to calculate the intensity because unit is like that. And we have a ready-made formula for intensity. Okay. Yes, we can come to this by this calculation. Intensity is coming to be half epsilon 0 electric field amplitude square into C. Then we have to calculate what? We have to calculate the intensity. So better I will do the calculation in an easy manner. I is equal to half epsilon 0, yes, come on, into, instead of C, we can write 1 by root of mu 0 epsilon 0. This, instead of going this method, this will be easier. Same thing, intensity can be given by half epsilon 0 E0 square into C. I replace C by 1 by root of mu 0. So my equation comes to be, I will come over here. My equation comes to be intensity is equal to half E0 in the numerator, root of E0 denominator. So this will become root of epsilon 0, not E0, divided by mu 0 into E0 square, E0 square. I have replaced what? C. Now come to the question. Intensity I have to calculate half. Tell me, root of mu 0 by epsilon 0 is coming to be 377. Root of mu 0 by epsilon 0. But here it is root of epsilon 0. So it will be 1 by 377. Okay. It is given mu 0 by epsilon 0 is 377. I want root of epsilon 0 by mu 0. That comes to be 1 by 377 into epsilon 0 square. E0 square. E0 is coming to be root of 377. E0 square will be 377. Okay. So this is the easiest way of calculating. Simple. Start from this is a basic formula. Intensity Now I replace C by, why I replace C? Because it is given in your question paper that we have to make use of this information, root of mu 0 by epsilon 0. To bring that, I replace C by root of mu 0 epsilon 0. Now the equation comes to be in this form. We know root of mu 0 by epsilon 0 is 377. Therefore, reciprocal will be 1 by 377. E0 square from the equation is what? Root 377 square will be 377. 377 get cancelled. I is coming to be 1 by 2. It is given that I is equal to 1 by alpha. So, who is in place of alpha? In place of alpha, you have 2. In place of alpha, you have 2. Okay. Now, we'll go to the next question. Come on. A laser beam has an intensity 4 into 10 to the power of 4. Amplitude of magnetic field associated with the beam is. Okay, again, same problem. Instead of electric field, they are going to go to the explanation. Tell me, yes, intensity will be given by half, either it is, I write both, either epsilon 0 E0 squared into C, or 1 by 2 B0 squared by mu 0 into C. Both are same, isn't it? We want the magnetic field maximum, we want the what amplitude, we want the B0, so we prefer this formula. Yes, okay. Now we are replacing the mu 0 by how much? 1 by C0, because C is equal to C square is 1 by mu 0 epsilon 0. Instead of mu 0, we can write 1 by epsilon 0 is square. Okay. Now our equation becomes half epsilon 0. So I am writing here intensity comes to be half epsilon 0 C cube B0 square. Okay. Now we are going to make some easy mathematical calculation. What mathematical calculation we are making? So we want B0 square. What mathematical calculation we are making is, isn't it? They have told, yeah, epsilon 0's value is given to you. B0 will be coming to be root of 2i divided by epsilon 0 into C cube. So substitute the values of 2i intensity is given to be 4 into 10 to the power of 5 is given, epsilon 0 8.5 into 10 to the power of minus 12. Okay, this is C is 3 in 10 to the power of 28 whole cube. Simplifying, we'll be getting nearly 1.83 Tesla we are getting. Tesla we are getting nearly. Okay, coming to the next question. Now, epsilon ET represent free space permittivity electric field. Now, I want to find epsilon E, the quantity indicated by epsilon 0 E by T. Okay. Now, you have the formula for displacement current. What is that? Epsilon or epsilon 0, whatever it may be, epsilon into d phi by dt. Everybody knows that? Epsilon or epsilon 0 into d phi by dt, correct? Then phi is given by E into A, isn't it? So I can write I is equal to epsilon into d by dt of E into A. So I is a constant, I take it out. I by A is coming to be epsilon into d by dt. And when you talk dimensionally, I want to talk about dimensional or its unit. When you talk about dimension or unit, d by dt and E by t have same unit. So from a familiar representation, I came to our required What is the required effect? Epsilon into E by T. We want epsilon into E by T. We want epsilon or epsilon 0, whatever it may be. Here it is given epsilon, epsilon. Not mathematically, but unit wise or dimension wise. And what we got here? I by A. What is I by A? I by A is current density. Current density. On your right hand side, epsilon into E by T, and that is equal to current by area, current density. So automatically unit will be coming to be ampere meter squared. So how this comes? So in such cases, we have a direct method. What is the direct method we have to follow? We have to substitute for what? Epsilon. We have to make it out. We don't remember any special case. E we know that you write. T we know. Okay. So, but think about some familiar quantities coming. One familiar quantity coming is I displacement current is equal to epsilon into d phi by dt. Phi is electric flux. That is E into A. Everything based on the unit system or dimension system. So I got d by dt of electric field into A. I take it out. A will go to the other side. ID by A is equal to epsilon into dE by dt. Dimensionally, that is same as that of epsilon into E by T. I want this quantity. I want epsilon into E by T. Epsilon into E by T is just look into the left hand side. That is coming to be displacement current by area, displacement current density, ampere per meter square. So explanation given in a more elaborate manner than given in the question paper. So I go to the next question. Electromagnetic plane wave traveling in unknown, non-magnetic. I underline it. What's meaning? I will tell you. It's not magnetic. Non-magnetic means its permeability will be very, very small. Permeability will be very, very small. Very, very small. Isn't it? Nearly 1. We cannot take less than 1 because it will become a diamagnetic. Isn't it? So non-magnetic means permeability is relative permeability, not permeability. Relative permeability is nearly equal to 1. That's the meaning I can say. Relative permeability. Or what? Mu R. Mu R is, let us go to the explanation. That's better. I'll go to the explanation. Yes. Here, relative permeability, we can take it as 1. I will write here. Relative permeability, I can take it as 1. Okay. Now, this is the medium. So, we can calculate the speed in the medium. We are using second time coefficient of t by coefficient of x, omega by k. That comes to be 1.5 into 10 to the power. We got from the wave equation, we can calculate the speed of electromagnetic waves in that medium is coming to be omega by k. That comes to be 1.5 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. And you know, refractive index of the medium is given by, or 3 into 10 to the power of 8, velocity in air by velocity in medium, that comes to be 2. And we know that 2 is equal to, we know that mu r is nearly 1. Therefore, we are, mu will be coming to be root of epsilon r. Mu r, relative permeability, is coming to be 1. Therefore, mu r is coming to be root of epsilon r. That is coming to be mu square. That is coming to be 4. Refractive index is coming to be 2. Mu square is coming to be 4. Therefore, your answer is coming to be 4. Okay, come on. Next question. Electromagnetic wave, frequency is 100 megahertz, propagates through a medium of conductivity 10 ohms per meter, ratio of maximum conduction current density to maximum displacement current density. Yes. Go to the explanation. Look, you know, According to the Ohm's law, we do it like that. V is equal to IR. V is equal to I into R. R will be rho into L by A. Okay. V by L is equal to I by A into rho. E by L is electric field E. I by A is conduction current density and rho. Therefore, conduction current density is given by 1 by rho into A, or we can take it as sigma into E. Therefore, conduction current maximum is equal to sigma into maximum electric field. Got it? Okay. That is given here. That is sigma into E. So maximum means maximum value. And displacement current density we have written just now. What is that? Displacement current density, we got it as how much? Epsilon 0 into d by dt. Correct? So this you remember it, but I derived it out how this comes. Electric field is going to be the conduction current density into rho, or conduction current density is 1 by rho into E, that is sigma into E. Then maximum value, the maximum value of electric field. Here also maximum value of current, maximum value of electric field. Now we have to calculate what? The ratio between them. Ratio between them. Isn't it? Ratio between them. Tell me the J displacement current is epsilon 0 into electric field. Electric field is electromagnetic wave sinusoidally varying. It is d by dt of, because we E0 into sine omega t. Correct? E0 into sine omega t. Therefore, displacement current maximum, displacement current first, right? Epsilon 0 E into omega into cos omega t. Isn't it? Therefore, displacement current maximum is equal to epsilon 0 electric field maximum into omega. So, once again, we got conduction current maximum as what? Sigma into E0. Displacement current maximum as epsilon 0. This is the displacement current. Its maximum value will be JE0 into omega when cos omega t becomes 1. Okay. Now I want the ratio between them. Ratio between them. What is that? Ratio between the displacement, conduction current maximum by displacement current maximum, sigma into E0, epsilon 0, E omega into E0. E0 get cancelled. Sigma by omega, sigma by epsilon 0 into omega. Omega is coming to be 2 pi into 10 to the power of 8. You make a substitution. What is that? Multiplied by 4 pi and divide by 4 pi. So this equation becomes sigma into 4 pi divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 into omega. Correct? 4 pi epsilon 0 into omega. E0 could cancel. Make it easiness. I multiplied by 4 pi and divided by 4 pi. Now tell me what is coming. Sigma is coming to be 10 into 4 pi, correct? Divided by, what is the value of 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0? That is 9 into 10 to the power of 9. That will go to the numerator. 9 into 10 to the power of 9. Divided by omega. Omega is given to be, how much we got omega? Omega is given to be 2 pi into 10 to the power of 8. Then 2 pi and 4 pi get cancelled. 2, 10 to the power of. So this is coming to be 18 into 100. This is, when you work it out, this is coming to be 180 into 10 or 1800. Okay. So all the questions have come from this year's alternating current and electromagnetic waves chapter. Okay. So that's all about.